Andrew Pollack, you have been thrust, you're like a reluctant champion in this cause of what was foisted upon your family. What's it been like for you? Suddenly you're here now giving speeches. What's it like for you?
Well, for me, it's about honoring my daughter and what happened to her and educating parents throughout the whole country at what happened. So to try and avoid it from another family feeling the pain that we do every day. So it's about educating other families and speaking for a lot of the people that don't have a voice out there.
Debbie Wasserman Schultz did some dirty, dastardly deeds against Bernie Sanders with the DNC. Why did Florida voters continue electing her and Jews continue supporting to her?
That's a good question, but I really think it's some type of mental disorder with these liberal Jews, that just something's not wired properly, because they'll vote for her again in Broward County. We had a sheriff that politicized his whole department.
Scott Israel.
Scott Israel. The people, the Jews in Broward, they'll vote for Scott Israel. Brenda Snipes, supervisor of elections. She was unethical. We had to remove her, another elected politician. And these Jews in Broward, they'll just go and vote the same type of people back in. So I don't understand it. You know, there's a good friend of mine's running against Debbie Wasserman Schultz now, Richard Mendelson. He's from Broward, good friend of mine, and he's going to run against Debbie Wasserman in 2020. So if these people in Broward want to redeem themselves, get out and vote. I don't know if it could be done. You know, the Jews in Broward, okay, they would, if there was a ticket and Moses was a Republican and he was running on the ticket, and Satan was a Democrat on the ticket, okay, the Jews wouldn't vote for Moses, they'd vote for Satan. That's how sick these Democrat Jews are. And not just in Broward, throughout the whole country. Look what they do to our president. You know, they call him racist. Racist. The guy just gave Israel sovereignty, full sovereignty. He acknowledged the Golan Heights. He moved the embassy. He's got Jewish grandkids. He had myself and my family to a Hanukkah party that was incredible. And I have open relationship with the White House. You know, they talk to me whenever I need to get in touch with the president. I never have issues. And I don't know, and they call him a racist. I think the guy's a great guy, and hopefully we'll get him another 4 more years so we could keep winning and get a lot more things done.
There were election irregularities in Broward during the 2018 elections. Yes. Is it possible to have a fair election in South Florida anymore?
Well, right now it is going to be fair, because Senator Scott removed Brenda Snipes, an unethical Broward Democrat. She was the supervisor of elections. They were trucking in ballots days after the election it closed, election day. So she was removed, and Senator Scott appointed someone that's going to hold a fair election for 2020. But typical Broward Democrats, they'll just vote another Brenda Snipes in. So 2024 will be an issue, but 2020 we will get a fair election in Broward County.
What were the telltale warning signs about this Nicholas, what was his last name?
I call him by his prison ID number. It's 181958. I don't like to call him by his name.
What were the policies that were in place that didn't allow him to be apprehended, preempted, that were put in place under the Democrat leadership?
Well, they had these democratic policies that started with Barack Obama, that they didn't want to arrest at-risk youth. And so the superintendent in Broward comes from Chicago, friendly with Eric Holder, and he brought these policies to Broward of not arresting kids. They thought it would be a good idea to end the school-to-prison pipeline and put them into some type of program, which, if it was implemented correctly, we could help kids. But the way they implemented it is they don't hold kids accountable. So in actuality, we're doing these kids a disservice by not introducing them to accountability at an early age. So now when they turn 18 and they've never been held accountable, they're committing felonies. So really, it creates the school-to-prison pipeline by not holding kids accountable while they're juveniles. So there's people that have good programs in place. Broward County just happens not to be one of them.
Is it beyond redemption?
Broward is beyond. I sold my house out of Broward. The only time I go to Broward is, for my court case when I have to be back or I'll see some family members. But Broward's pretty much a toxic county full of unethical Democrats. And that's why it was important for me to come here today and talk to Republicans, because I don't want that cancer of Broward County to spread into other parts of the country. There's so many unethical people in Broward. The supervisor of elections removed, the sheriff removed, court of clerks under investigation, the superintendent and the school board under a grand jury investigation. We don't want that cancer to spread throughout the rest of the country, what happened there. And they refused to accept responsibility for letting my daughter get murdered through their policies and through their incompetence. Okay, they don't accept responsibility or accountability. But I'm going to make them accept it by the time I'm done with them, with my lawsuit. And I'm not going to be finished with them until I get accountability for my daughter and her death isn't in vain.
What are your thoughts about this new socialist Democrat element in the Congress, with particularly anti-Semitic tones that the Democrats won't stop, won't get thrown off the Foreign Relations Committee? What are your thoughts about this to Jewish viewers who typically support and donate to the Democrat elections?
It really, listen, they're not even in support when President moved the embassy to Jerusalem. It's hard for me to comprehend it, because look at these Democrats, hypocrites. Bernie Sanders was at something in Manhattan the other day, and he was talking about calling the president a racist, right? Which is ludicrous. And you have these Muslims, Congress people, supporting BDS movement, supporting Palestinians, a two-state Israel,
and accusing Jews of dual loyalism.
They don't say anything. Bernie doesn't say anything about that, but the president, who does everything for Israel, he calls him a racist. They're just sick, demented people, and the only thing we could do is keep winning. And Jews out there, you got to come around, okay? Look what happened in Broward. You don't want that to spread throughout the country. Accountability, you got to love your country, you got to love Israel. That's why I'm here, in my speech. That's what made me come out and get involved with politics when Netanyahu was here, and he's pleaded not to go through with that Iran deal, and they supported it, the Democrats. Paved the way for Iran to get a nuclear weapon. So, they got to get on the bandwagon and flip and vote Republican in this next election.
Walk away?
Just walk away. That's it. Is that it? Walk away? Walk away. Walk away to the right side of the fence. That's it. Support these Republicans that are out there that care about our country. They care about Israel. They're against anti-Semitism, and they love our president.